Hey Gemini, I'm Eleanor and welcome to your second week of February Pick a Card Tarot reading. I am using the Everyday Tarot and Butterfly Affirmations. Thank you to all my new subscribers, welcome, and if you're brand new and you want to keep up with the story as it unfolds, hit that subscribe button too. Anytime during the reading, if you hear something that's working for you, that helps you, that is of service to you, please hit that like button. I have stack 1, 2, 3. They're time-stamped below, so you can skip right to your reading when it's time. So we're discussing the Hermit, which is your monthly energy, going within, finding your own truth, and change, the way this is going to change you. This is the energy of the week. Last week was responsibility, taking ownership of your role and how your life has gotten to be where it is. And change now is how you use that information to move forward. The information on where these cards came from is linked below, as well as how to get a personal reading with me. So let's get started. Gemini, stack 1, you have the 10 of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and this is your butterfly. And it says, everything happens according to divine timing for the best results. So the change that I see taking place for you this week, Gemini, is around learning, coming to the end of trying to force an explanation and trying to always intellectualize your way through a situation and trying to think it to the end, and that everything can become to by a logical and rational explanation, which is typical Gemini air energy, to be logical and to be well thought out. And what you're being called to do here with this Queen of Cups is to access some trust in the process, especially with this butterfly affirmation talking about divine timing. Is I'm feeling with this 10 of Swords that there isn't always, particularly this week, since this is a weekly reading, not a logical and rational place to get to. That your thought process is going to get you to this 10 of Swords dead end. And that to move forward again, you're going to have to shift into your more intuitive side and trust in the process and not have to understand and not be able to move forward and trust in the timing of the thing without having to fully understand all of the schematics, but to surrender a little bit to the wonder and to submit to trust in things working out, and that you don't need to understand it that thoroughly because it's not for you to control anyway. A thorough and deep logical understanding is so that you can maneuver and so that you can operate and so that you can control. And in this way, you're being reminded that you're in control of yourself. That's what we've spoken about last week with responsibility. You are in control of yourself, but you may be trying to extend that control outwardly and trying to understand the universe's motives and trying to understand how everything works. And you can't understand how everything works. You just have to understand how you work. That's what this Hermit is about. So how can you move into that more trusting, intuitive side? All right, stack 2, you have Death. 7 of Wands, and this is your butterfly. And it says, the universe is always helping me, sometimes in unexpected ways. So I find it interesting that we have this Death card coming up with change, because death is a major life change. It is where you're shedding an old way and giving birth to a new way. So with the 7 of Wands, it does feel like you're blocking aid. The universe is trying to help you, and there's a defensiveness towards it. Because with this Hermit, there may be, last week we did talk about taking ownership and taking responsibility, and this Hermit does have a go it alone solo project energy to it. But I feel like I want to tell you that to take responsibility and to take ownership and to change in that more empowering way doesn't mean to isolate and to block help that is trying to be offered to you. And there may be a sense that you're defending against this because you don't recognize it, because it says unexpected ways. So I'm wondering if you can tell me in the comments ways that the universe has tried to offer you help that you didn't recognize at first, and it turned out later to be beneficial to you. All right, so stack 3, 6 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, and this is your butterfly. And it says, my patience is being rewarded, my turn will come. So right off, without even thinking, we're talking about reward and your turn coming, which is very 6 of Wands, very celebratory, very being rewarded, having your number up to be recognized. And that this change could put you more in the spotlight and be more recognized. And it will be a change that, even though it's an internal change, it feels like it's all going on beneath the surface. It is something that is going to be seen and reflected outward because of the way I feel like I want to talk about this leadership that is embodied in the 6 of Wands. We have this, okay, so the 6 of Wands is like an external, being seen, a leadership, where the Hermit is very much an internal, hidden. It's not something that the world sees. And so where these come together is where your insides match your outsides, and the authenticity that comes when those two things are in alignment. And when you can work on this change on the inside, and then that authenticity is leadership. That, because we're talking about the Hermit and being within, they aren't talking about big actions, going out and making big sweeping motions and changes in the world that people can see. It's the work that you do internally inside that's going to be seen. That sort of authenticity is what's going to attract the success to you. It's going to attract people to you. It's going to be that light that shines out. And the effects of this, with this 10 of Pentacles, do promise to be long-term. And it is the kind of thing that's going to outlast your lifetime. It's going to be something that shows you're going to be leading the way in a way that shows other people how to do the same for themselves. And that in that way, it's not going to be a viral overnight thing. That this is going to be a slow, because of the time that it's going to take, it's being done thoroughly and being done well and being done in a strong way that's not going to be easily overturned and easily overdone. It's going to outlast you and have a long extension beyond your lifetime because of the amount of time it's going to take to create it. So it's like in a balanced, equal way. Just like, okay, the opposite of what I'm saying is talking about something that's viral, something that rockets into popularity overnight can just as easily go out the next day. And so this is the opposite, where it takes a lot of inner work and a lot of time to build and to have this alignment come into place and to have people recognize it and come see it. And then in that way, that authenticity lasts and is permanent. And yeah, so that's what I have for you, Gemini. Go ahead and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in a week. Thank you.